Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is coming down quite sharply, not a surprise. Yeah, we talked about the possible targets for this rally here to the upside. We talked about we are in resistance, and I gave you in the live stream today, and I think also in the previous video, yeah, we talked about the 38.2 Fibonacci extension here. That was one of the targets. Bitcoin did not make it to the 61.8, not a problem. The 30, well, it still can, but I think it's unlikely now. I think the drop down has started. So an extended target would have been the 61.8 extension or the 1-to-1 ratio up there, but that would have been 29,466. So I take the targets now off the chart because they were reached. So now it's all about what is Bitcoin going to do now. So for now, it is starting a more substantial decline. I did warn in a few videos today that this decline could be quite sharp. The reason is if it's really a wave 2, which is coming down here after we rallied in 5 waves, yeah, we can expect here that this was a wave 1. And if we're now coming down in a wave 2, then this is going to be most likely an ABC structure. And the A wave is possibly an impulse. And if the A wave is an impulse, the move down will look quite strongly. So that's sort of how it can play out now. Let me take that out again. It's a bit too early to confirm that. But yeah, I think it's an A wave, which is currently coming down here. We were watching if a top has been made. I took profits in this region here today, highlighted that on Discord and Telegram just to take some of the risk out, leaving a core position in. I had a few questions. What is a core position? Well, for me, very simply, core position is still a trading position, but it's a larger swing trading position that I don't trade the smaller waves with. So because you never know if it, it can still blast through here, right? So I don't want to be left out. So that's why I leave around 50%, 50-60% here in the trade, for example. So I often recommended it in the past, but eventually it's up to you what you do and decide. But entering in, I did enter in this larger support box here. I did talk about that before, yeah. And this is a large support area. This is the support area for the correction that corrected the move that started in November. So it's quite a substantial one. So entering in this area, it makes sense to have a position that is geared more towards trading the larger wave. And then as part of that, also some floating positions. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, what happens now? So obviously we need to be on the lookout if 5 waves up have been completed. And we have 5 waves up. Now that doesn't necessarily mean it needs to come down now, but price action currently suggests a bit of a drop. Now we will not really know that until we drop below the last swing low. We found support here, but it's, I think, quite likely to break, but you never know with Bitcoin, right? But if the 29,290 level is going to fail or break, then we are most likely going to come down into this yellow support area. So this is the decision point, because we rallied from our decision point here, from our trend reversal area into the next trend reversal area, resistance. We might have started now a decline. We're still holding the trend line. So as long as the trend line is actually holding or active, I cannot assume the trend is broken. So the trend line is still holding for now. But if it breaks, then we are most likely coming down into this region here between 21,050 and 23,050. This is my preferred count at the moment, that we rallied here in a wave 1. And this is now a wave 2, which is coming down here. And we could then get a third wave afterwards, taking us into the 35K region. This is currently just purely based on price action, the preferred count. It could also be that this was just a B wave. And that is a risk because we did rally into resistance and haven't broken above 27,415. So that's very likely as well. It's not like one has a 90% probability and the other one 10. No. They are fairly close together. And if that's the case, then we would come down in a C wave afterwards, right? So that's a possibility. And then we've got the other alternative where this was actually the 5th wave. of the move that started back in November, that the 5th did not end on the 16th of Feb, but actually finished here today. Why is that not too unlikely? It's not my preferred count, but it's actually not too unlikely because remember what my target was here. My initial target for the rally that started on the basically on Valentine's Day, yeah, my target was 26 to 27k. Now it reached only 25,370. Do you remember that I said that typically in a 5th wave Bitcoin is extending a bit? It didn't. So it's not typical. So yes, 5 waves could be complete, but I've always emphasized that it could very well be that we only had a wave 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that was not one second. 1, 2, 3, then an A wave down, an overshooting B wave, and a C wave down, that this was actually the 4th wave, and we now rallied in the 5th wave into my target area. Yeah, so just with a little bit of a delay. I wouldn't have a problem with that. It would indicate though that we come back into the green support area now. Yeah. But I have at the moment, this is far away, that scenario, because first of all, the market will need to test this support area. If we don't even get there, I don't treat it as wave 2 has started. Yeah, then we would assume we are still here in this actual move to the upside and haven't actually broken it. Now we are really at a basic, you could say, make or break point here, because we have 5 waves to the upside of the weekend lows, and these 5 waves could be, they could be complete, because we've seen quite a bit of a decline, but we haven't broken below the trend line yet. But it looks like we are going to do it. Okay, so from that point of view, my tactics will be, if we get back into this region, I might scale up again. So after taking some profits, I might add a little bit here, especially if we come down a little lower. However, I'm also very much aware that it could be that this is not a 1-2 setup, but that this was the 5th wave, and now we're doing something like this, A, B, C, and we come back into the green support area. So so it's either this support area here between 21,050 and 23,050, and to get a 30k breakout directly, we need to hold 21,050. It can very well be in the other 2 scenarios that we are breaking back into the green support area, and then we're back in the game, and anybody who missed the entries in the last few days could then re-enter. I don't necessarily like that idea too much, because a lot of altcoins would then most likely drop below their relevant support areas, but it's an absolute realistic possibility. Be aware of that scenario. Yeah, don't be surprised if this support area is breaking. There is no way of saying, okay, this is going to hold or we're going to go into this one. It's all about trading reward to risk. But yeah, we've got a possible 1-2 setup here, absolutely. And I intend to redeploy some of that capital back into this area. If that fails, then I'm going to add here. Yeah. Note that these support areas are very close together. So what I might do personally, because you can't really, because I'm not gonna go in aggressively with a lot of leverage or anything. So I don't mind scaling in again. Probably will start to scale in around 1 second, how do it here, maybe around the 23k area with a very small position. Yeah, and then do something like that, or maybe even a little lower. Yeah, but I would then think about scaling into the entire support area again. Yes, this is a 1-2 setup, but what happens if we break below 21,050? It could be that we drop quickly to 20,400, find support here and rally. So from that point of view, I would rather scale into the entire range. Yeah, so everything stays as it is, relevant support, but for a micro trade or a smaller trade, this relevant support area here is the one in yellow. And as long as the green support area holds, and that is still the relevant one, 17,500, as long as this is holding, we still have sort of protection from another bear market low. Yeah, only if it's breaking, then we are going to go with a high likelihood below the November lows. Right, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.